Oh, I'm echoing. Huh?
Is it me? Is it me
or is it you? I have no idea.
Maybe I'm too close.
Who knows? What's everybody up to? We skipped last week's spring sports and deadlines kill us. We died last weekend and we both were like, holy shit, it's Wednesday. And then we both went, we can't do it.
There's not enough hours in my day. They feel like that too. Like, really? There's not enough hours. I'm exhausted. If I didn't have 2 other people who drive my kids to their athletic shit, I'd be over it.
I mean, same, because I think you and your dad saved my ass way more than I care to admit.
At this point, it's my favorite because there's only 1 day a week. There's 2 that I have to pick up my kids for after school, but one of them is a day that your kid has to get picked up. And at this point, they just throw her in my car. Like, nobody questions it anymore.
I haven't picked her up since Christmas. I think before December was the last time I picked her up from school. Your dad just does it now. Or you or your dad do it now.
I'm also not driving home from the gym 4 days a week now. So I'll take it. It works. Because I feel it's so close. Like, it's right around the corner. So you can't just not go. But then it's like back and forth because my kids are in like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 classes and a private class. 4 days a week. But then I have another kid that's also in sports, and he's jazzed because he's having like a good, like the batting drill just clicked, like this new drill that one of his coaches was having him do. So he's finally having like a decent batting season, and so that's clicking. But the season's almost over, so we just got the flyer for football home from school, and he's like, "I'm doing it." I'm like, okay. And I love the flyer. Like, the flyer is really, it checks all my like graphically appealing boxes. So the first thing I did was
take notes for soccer.
I asked the powers that be if I could make one for soccer. Actually, I begged. There was no asking. I was like, I could do this. I could make a pretty one for soccer. Please don't say no. Because it's just so good.
Did it come home?
Yes.
That too, in color and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. They upped their game. Nice. I was like, but like, even the way that they did it, just to like talk shop for 2 seconds, I was looking at the actual like 8.5 by 11 that came home, and I could do a like dark and like very like the exact that they did it for like online with all the color, and then to save money on photocopying. There's a lot of the like clean lines that they did that would translate really well to black and white if they just removed the background image. So
yeah,
here for it.
I rubbed off on you. And
I loved it. I was like, don't say no.
I like clean lines. I like cleanliness.
This entire flyer was your jam. Like, it was actually like you and I both like together, because I like a little bit more. Like, sometimes you take so much out, I'm like, stop that. Where did it all go? And like, this is like the clean, like straight lines, straight blocks. Everything's very symmetric. And then it's got like the background stuff that I like. So it's really like, we made a football sign-up flyer, but we didn't.
Did our live end? Happened.
Where?
In the book club.
Oh, really?
We are having trouble. This must be what she talked about doing. We have to create a new broadcast. remove the destination and re-add it. Okay, hang on.
I don't know what happened, Stacy. I do like, let me tell you, Stacy, I like a level of chaos. I live my life in a level of chaos.
There we go. Back in the group.
Because I cannot be like super duper organized and labeled and whatnot, but I need like a fair amount to live my life. I had to look for the incoming 7th grade, like they had to fill out a form for their electives for next year, and it had to be turned in. That has to go back tomorrow, by the way. It has to be turned in. What?
I think Addison already turned hers in.
Ruby did too. And I was looking for it after I dropped her off at a ballet class, and like her backpack even gave me an anxiety attack. I was like, what is this? Like, she was carrying around 40 pounds of crumpled papers and shit she didn't need. So before she could eat dinner and do what she needed to do before she went back to the studio for her twirl class, I was like, you need to clean this out. Like, anything that is not needed goes right in the trash can. And my mom gave her like a little office waste paper basket, and she filled it up and then dragged over the giant kitchen trash because that's how much needed to come out of her backpack. It was scary. I'm still scared. It was bad.
Okay, there we go.
And it's weird. Ellie keeps hers so clean. Like, her backpack has like nothing in it because she doesn't like carrying. So as soon as it could come out, it comes out. She doesn't like it. Like, she's not here for
it. Sorry, we keep losing connection in the group, so I'm just. We lost connection live here. Okay.
She does that too. So some things, like she had a really big notebook. It was all their old stuff, and it was weighing her down. So we put that aside, and she can add to it if she needs to, but stuff that they haven't, she just gets rid of it. Because if she can't find something, like we've had a couple of times where she couldn't find something in her notebook, and she ended up getting, they make them walk laps. Like, she ended up having to walk a lap because she didn't turn something in, but it was just in the back of her notebook. I'm telling you, kids with sensitivities, man, it's rough.
Yep.
They're worth it, but it's hard.
My child, who is currently in band and planning on being in the auxiliary, which you have to be in band for, came home with art marked as her number one after telling the art teacher, who I'm friends with, that she hated art.
I don't understand how her mind works sometimes.
She just likes the teacher. And so she's like, I'll just do it because I know I like the teacher.
They get two, though.
Yes. So she'll be in band and probably art, although I tried to talk her into switching it to one of the others because I don't think she's going to like art. So.
I mean, she's going to find out because nobody signs up for that class, so it's pretty much a guarantee she's going to get it.
Well, it's the default for the non-band kids. So before this year, because this year there's more electives than there were last year or in years prior. So all the extra kids who don't have anything get thrown into the art classroom. You have kids in the classroom who don't like art.
Ellie asked me if next year, when it's her turn to sign up, if she could select both band and choir. And like, the music nerd that I married is probably going to be living his best life.
I think my only real music nerd is Christian, so.
Sure. I think my only real music nerd is also Christian, but I have two that really want to be majorettes. So we're locked into it as well. And if I get letters in the mail that the other two are getting French horns, I'm going to cry.
It's an awful beginner instrument. It's so bad. Like the sound carries over here, so I can hear it.
Christina, it's really loud. Like she's playing in the house, by the way. Like she's almost always inside, and you can hear it in your house.
Ew. I'd be kicking
I know. And so, like, the thing is that I've recently learned, because I dropped out of junior high middle school band because I didn't want to take marching PE in high school or wear the uniform. So I quit. I don't know these things. I have recently learned that it is common that you have, babe, are you still in here?
Yo, what's up?
What do the horns march with instead of the, like, big one? What's it called?
What?
You said French horns usually march with a smaller, like, for marching?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, though.
So they don't do that here.
It's like a weird-looking trumpet.
He calls it a funny-looking trumpet. But they don't do that here. They march with, like, the full horn. And my mom was like, now, the way that they're having her hold it, like, if you watch, like, orchestras, it's a little bit different. But it's so literally her movements will go from, like, sitting with a music stand in a chair to, like, marching up and down the field, and her upper body is exactly the same. So it makes total sense. But I have very small statured humans that I have birthed, and I cannot see the last two marching with a French horn. Now, Jack also put baritone. He put trumpet, French horn, and baritone. So I have no idea. Stacy says hi.
Hi, Stacy.
I have no idea how that is going to shake down.
I just laugh about the small statured humans we made when I'm
an ogre.
Shrek. My body style is Shrek.
He's giant. He's a giant, and we have very small humans. Our 12-year-old maybe has one more growth spurt in her. She is 5'3", so she's roughly my height. And she keeps saying she's going to be tall. And I'm like, no, baby, if you don't grow anymore, you consider petite. And she's like, not here for that. She gets really upset. Melissa says her human is huge. Melissa, how big was he when he was born? Because I was trying to remember.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we saw a baby somehow or something.
Melissa is tiny, like tiny, adorable human being. And birthed a, like a 10, 11 pound baby.
And I used to carry her husband on my shoulder.
And, like, it's almost 10 pounds. And I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. But, like, every time she's like, yeah, pregnancy sucked. It's called.
Oh, it didn't have a name. I don't know what the hell. Here, how do I?
I don't know. Just slide it over.
How do I get it in the picture?
Oh,
that's not going to show. Oh, it's not going to. It is.
Oh,
it is. There it is. That's what it looks like.
That's a marching French horn.
Fucked up looking trumpet.
Go away.
Okay, I'm out.
But every time she's like, pregnancy sucks, having a baby sucks, I'm like, it's because your baby was hard on your body. Like,
Yeah.
But he's so cute. I mean, gosh, he's a cute kid though. And he's so sweet and he's so well behaved. I can't handle it.
He actually fucking likes me.
Sean's over here
So
going.
that's actually what the baritones march with.
Oh, fuck. Hold on.
So they don't march with that here. They march with the full French horn. So Sean's like, I don't even know, bro. The only saving grace, because Ellie checked flute, percussion, and French horn, and then they said on the questionnaire it was can you carry or transport large or heavy objects? And she literally put, no, I'm tiny. And that brings me so much joy because it's such an Ellie answer. I'm pretty sure that kid's getting a flute.
Yeah, it looks very similar, just bigger.
Yeah.
Baritone?
Yeah,
Yeah, the marching
baritone.
baritone looks a lot like the marching horn, but bigger.
Bigger. It's just changed. The tubing length is the same because you get the same sound. It just alters the configuration to be
I've also
more.
seen the baritones march with one that is built the same, and I think this is what our kids actually march with, but the horn it doesn't stick straight out like this. You still hold it like this, but the horn is like right here, sticking straight out instead of straight
It's
up.
more vertical instead of like a trumpet.
Yeah, I think that that's what our baritone kids march with. I'll have
It's
to look.
something in between the big tuba and a trumpet.
Also, I made a friend today.
Is that a spider?
Yes,
What the fuck?
I made a friend today.
What the hell was that?
Here, people, I made a friend today.
Apparently, Sean's just taking over this live.
I am taking over this live stream. Here's my friend. Hold on,
Up a
wait.
little bit.
Here's my friend I made today.
Did you squish it?
No, he's one of those like little jumping spiders.
It's a wolf spider, and those make my husband scream like a little girl.
Well, he was hanging out with me. No, that's not a wolf spider. That thing was like microscopic. It's just blown up on my phone.
He's so weird.
Your daughter thought it was cool. Shut up.
She really did. He also had a dog that was not his dog jump in his truck today. So he's having a very active day. His social life.
Like Lucas.
It does. His social life has tripled today.
2 dogs and a spider. Hell yeah.
2 dogs and a spider. I mean, probably better company than a lot of people these days.
He keeps telling everyone the dog is his favorite new employee.
I saw that. I did see that. So I had to start taking new medicine, so I ordered a pill case.
Oh, you're like an old person.
Oh, I know. If I don't have it sitting in front of me, I can't remember if I took it or not, so I had to do it. But I ordered a couple of I ordered like underwear and workout towels, and accidentally checkmarked the gift. So I sent gifts to myself, like a old person pill case and underwear and workout towels. So that's been my week. What about you?
That's weird. I don't even know. What day is it? Is it Wednesday? What did I do this week? I'm halfway through a synopsis of Tell Me Story so here's the thing. When you write a blurb, it's like you don't want to, especially for romantic suspense or thrillers, you don't want to give anything away. So you write like 3 sentences and it's to make people want to read it. But when you're submitting to an agent or to sell rights, you have to build a synopsis, and that is like everything that happens in the book ever. So instead of like a 1-page summary, it's like a 10-page, and then this happened in chapter 33. Like, it's everything ever. And these are things that I didn't know. So this is actually something I picked up from being in the worlds, because last time I submitted a synopsis, I didn't really know how detailed they needed to be. So it was just a 1-page, this is what happened. And it wasn't, because I didn't want to give a ton of spoilers away. But you have to, because they're literally not going to read your book. They just want to know if it's a good fit for their sales catalog. So someone's going to read 10 pages, but they're not going to read, 400 pages. So I wrote that book in 2017, and now I'm trying to remember what's in it because it's been a long time and my back hurts. And then my anxiety is really high. So that's usually like when I need to write the really dark shit. Like that's the only thing that'll come out. So now I'm like 3 chapters deep in a dark cartel romance that was not on my schedule, because that happens. My husband was like, did you write anything dirty? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, tell me what you wrote. And I was like, and then she staged an attacking by pulling a bathroom stall door into her face so that she could lure these 2 men into being her saviors so that she could infiltrate them, their organization.
Jesus. You did go hard.
He was like, that's not sexy at all. Like, this one has like lots of plots and twists, like lots of people die. It's very gory. It's very bloody.
Moving your schedule around again?
No, I don't think so. Melissa, I'm probably going to ask you for more correcting my Spanish grammar. That'll be fun. For everybody who wants to know, King was the swooning when he called her not nice names in Spanish. She couldn't say Melissa because she hooked me up. I literally one night was like, I need like current terms of endearment in Spanish. And she was like, well, this one's kind of mean. And I was like, that one, that's the one.
I love a good mean term of endearment, though. So, what else do we got going on? We have magazine comes out on Friday. New free book comes out on Saturday. What else?
It's like this whole month just blew past me.
It really did.
It's almost Mother's Day. That's in 2 weeks. I bought my own present, just FYI.
I should probably just buy my own too, to be honest.
A friend of mine sells like makeup and beauty products and stuff like that. So they're like, they had this, it was like a bronzer, blush, contour, highlighter, but like the little beads in the jar. And they only roll it out for like a couple weeks a year for Mother's Day. And I was like, I want one. And I made my husband pay for it. And that's the Mother's Day present.
Does he know, or did he just find out?
I mean, he probably just found out. I mean, he sees it when he gets the like PayPal alert because he put me on a fraud alert check. So the bank calls him when I use his account on PayPal too much.
So you can't hide it anymore.
No. I mean, I never hid it. Like, I feel like secrecy and hiding is wrong. Like, it's lying, and I don't do that. So I'm like, yeah, I bought the shoes.
That's
like,
that's true.
There's no secret. So I did that. So it'll be mine until my tween decides that she likes it, because she recently discovered she really likes doing her own makeup for twirl contests, and she did it really good, which shocked the shit out of me because she's like a really sporty, goes to school almost always with her hair like naturally curly and no makeup on her face, and like jeans and t-shirt and sneakers. So she did like full contour, everything. It did it really well. And I was like, shit, like she clearly was watching some YouTube channels too.
That's how my kids figure shit out. We didn't have that growing up. So
No.
like
I had 17 and I had YM magazine, and I got them like every other month, and that was it. And then I upgraded to like Cosmo Teen or Cosmo Girl or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then by the time like YouTube did come out, I didn't care enough to actually look
One
at
of them had like sex advice in it, and I wasn't allowed to read that one until high school. That's all I remember.
That was Cosmo. Well, 17 and Cosmo both had sex advice.
One of them I wasn't allowed to have until I was in high school.
Probably Cosmo.
Yeah.
Which I have artwork in Cosmo. I mean, just had to drop that one there for a second. So, yeah, I mean, guys, we've just been so busy with spring sports. I always forget how busy spring is until it's here. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Melissa, this is your Mother's Day. You have a baby.
Oh, yes.
You and your sister should be the ones who are the like love on us mothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's your, like, it comes full circle. There's literally a Grandparents' Day for a reason. Although I always do something fun for my mom. So my mom for Christmas, she took my kids shopping on the square to like the shops and let them each pick out something for me. And I really liked that idea. Like, it was really thoughtful. It was really sweet. I got some weird ass shit because my kids are weird, but I loved it. So I think I might do the same thing with my kids. Like, take them and be like, gotta go get your mom a present.
That is a good idea.
I know what my husband wants for Father's Day, though, and it involves me and Ruby teaming up. He wants his own Dungeons & Dragons campaign. It's a story. So, like, I don't play the game, but the game is basically like a choose-your-own-adventure novel,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, by dice roll. So, like, you make it up on the fly. So you say, like, oh, I'm going to walk into the bar, and you, like, roll your dice. And if you roll really high, like, you walk into the bar, and everybody's like, ooh, that guy's the shit. Or if you roll really low, like, you forget to open the door and you walk into the door. Like, it's shit like that. When the like person who leads it is making up on the fly, like all these different scenarios. So that's, I think, what he wants is something like that.
Cool.
Because he'd love to do it, but he's like, I'm not like a storyteller. I can't do it.
Almost like a married one.
So that's what he's getting for Father's Day. It costs us $0, which makes me feel kind of shitty, but he will love the hell out of it. And then we'll take him up to the, like, my back is killing me. Like, my back is out.
More meaningful gifts anyway.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, if Ruby did some character art for him, he'd really like that.
Yeah.
My back is out, so I have to keep, like, stretching my lower back, but I didn't want to take a muscle relaxer before we got on here because,
Which teenager, Stacy? I would have taken a muscle relaxer.
I'm like, that's got to be Taylor, because he said, and then I said, that's not a giraffe. Because of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that's literally how you play it. So then they go, oh, no, the door didn't open. You know, you ran into it. And then you go, like, I said, that's not a giraffe. And you keep going. It's Taylor. And then you keep going. But it's like a back and forth. And you go in rounds. Like, everybody takes a turn.
Cool.
But the overall is, like, the person who creates the campaign creates the mission that you're on. And he always picks the, like, most ridiculous stuff. Like, he's always like a gnome in a Hawaiian shirt or something ridiculous.
Which actually kind of fits his personality.
He thinks it's more fun, like, the more ridiculous you make it. He's like, you can always tell the, like, noobs because they're like, I'm just going to sit in the corner and observe. And he's like, no, bitch, you get in that bar fight and you throw some bows. Like, you got to make it interesting.
I'm not interesting.
We are clearly so, like, I'm nerdy to a level.
Huh?
I'm nerdy to a degree, and my husband and my children, like, are off the charts. I don't. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know. Melissa, you guys want to play in the Father's Day when Ruby and I set it up?
Is it like on the game? Like you?
No, you make it up. Like, it's a board game. You make it up as you go. But, like, people print off, like, stuff. It's really, like, the whole world's evolved. I mean, there's, like, thousands of, like, D&D fanfic. Like, it's a whole thing. It's intense.
That's cool.
It's gonna have fun. My kids are gonna love it. I'm gonna show up and make it awkward. That's all I'm looking for. Stacy, I can't figure out magic and my heart's not in it. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't figure out either. So, although about the time we started having fun with that wolf game. What was that? What's that game?
Ultimate Werewolf?
Yes, that. My child got sick.
It was funny because it was awkward when the adults were trying to play it, and then when Ellie sat down, and then our friend's teenager and his girlfriend sat down was when it got interesting, and we were laughing because it was the kids who saved it. And they were like, way more fun than we are. But, like, she always sits down, she's like, listen, listen, listen. I know the answers. But, like, you know, like, you have to, like, listen for movement around the table. And I think Alyssa's already watching it. Are you in her Handmaid's Tale group, Alyssa?
Are you in the Handmaid's Tale group? Hang on.
You have to, like, listen for movement during certain points of the game around the table, and everyone's got their eyes closed. And it's very clear that, like, the older you get, your hearing diminishes because our children hear everything. Like, I was working on my laptop in the bedroom, and I turned to Sean to show him a picture of our kid that the school posted on Facebook, and I was like, hey, look, it's our kid. And our kid on the other side of the house was like, show me, my roller coaster was the best. We won. So I'm like, Jesus.
But then they don't hear you the 17 times you tell them to pick up their socks off the floor.
Or even, like, what do you want on your tacos? Like, I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Because that's something that we do often because everybody can pick and choose what they want. So like one only wants like tomatoes and lettuce. The other one wants like all the dairy products. One can't eat avocados because they think it's gross, but the other will eat all the avocados. So it's literally down the line. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, that's why I do that too. It's a
what do you want?
Yeah. Yeah. Melissa, it dropped early yesterday when we were at the freaking ball field. But I run a group that's almost 6,000 people in it. Like so what happened was I started it because I was in the big one, and the big one was getting on my nerves because there's a lot of politics in there. And
people fight.
And yeah, and it like I get it. You can draw some parallels with what's going on in The Handmaid's Tale, you know, stuff we see every day in real life. But I didn't like that, like, because it just makes people fight, and it takes away from the good discussion of the television show, because the television show is fantastic. It's so good. And so I was like, is there a book group one? Like, I asked on Facebook, and nobody could come up with a answer. So I was like, well, I'm just going to get one. And I threw like 20 people in it that I knew were watching it. And then all of a sudden, like 1,000 people joined. And now we're like up to 6,000 people. And I've got like 7 admins, and it's hard to keep up with, but it's fun. But it is a spoiler group. I like watching spoilers for shows. Handmaids, I usually try to catch as soon as it's live.
Because you absolutely cannot stand them for a book you're going to read.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's backwards. Like, I hate them for books, but I like them for shows.
You're basically saying I hate tomatoes, but I love ketchup. Like, that's what you're saying right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't know why I like them for shows. Like, they don't bother me. Or I can scroll. If I decide, like, oh, I don't want to know what happens, I'm good at scrolling and ignoring it. Clearly, we learned today that a lot of people are not good at that.
Oh my gosh, it's wild. So, like, a bunch of our friends jumped in to help admin because the group about a year and a half ago just got huge, and it was way more than one person could handle. So, like, I don't even watch the show, but I'll go in and, like, the ones that I'll, like, stop are there's always someone who answered the, like, questions, but they're really just in there to post, like, pirated links, and being who we are, pirating is a no-no, so I'll always go and, like, delete those really fast. Or, like, read the answers and be like, are you a scary person? Are you going to yell at people? Or are you gonna be like, I like the show and that's why I'm here? And let them in. It was really funny because we were on vacation, and it shows who the admins are when you join a group. Like, you can look and see who the admins are. And Sean's aunt messaged me and was like, I just joined your Handmaid's Tale group. And I was like, what? And then I looked and I was like, oh, that's not my group. That's my bestie's group. I just help it. But she was like, I was dying laughing because she was looking for a spoiler group for the show. And she was like, I look at the admins and it's my nephew's wife. But it's wild. Like, people get wild in there. Like, today, Alyssa came over and I was working, and she set her phone down on the desk, and it was like pinging with people who were yelling at each other for posting spoilers. And it's funny because, like, the erotica or the really explicit romance groups, they typically don't care about spoilers. They're like, you know, put a spoiler warning, but, like, they'll ask. Like, I'm in a group where they're like, tell me, is there another woman character, and is she good or is she bad? Is she good and the wife is bad? Is the wife bad and the other woman's, you know? I need to know all the things. And then in Cozy Mysteries, if you mention anything that is not in the title, these angry old ladies will rip you a new asshole. So I was laughing because I accidentally stuck my foot in my mouth over something that was in a blurb on a comment in a group. And it's like the same argument that was happening in Alyssa and Mansfield group.
I don't understand. Like, somebody asked a question, and it wasn't even like super spoily. It was like, what happened to this character question? And there were like 45 comments on there explaining what happened to it. And then, like, in between each comment, there was spoiler alert. And I'm like, read the fucking rules, you dumbass. Like, literally, the about in the group says, this is a spoiler group. We don't even require warnings. Like, if you're coming into this group, you're coming to discuss it, whether you've watched the damn TV show or not. Like, I don't care.
The thing was that like I'm not going to spoil anything on here, but there were some pretty big surprises and twists this season, and no one was even really talking about it. So I don't know, like, it wasn't the big ticket items that people were spoiling. It was like stupid little shit from 3 seasons ago.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean, there were a couple, but the biggest one I was surprised people haven't really been talking about, and it was that because they dropped 3 episodes at once yesterday. So there's a lot of information to unpack from that, which is probably why there hasn't been a lot of chatter about it. But the ending of that 3rd episode is, sure, Melissa, I will send you a free cake. Speaking of cakes, my husband wants to get a bunch of plastic flamingos and dress them up as handmaids.
I keep asking if I'm a wife or a handmaid. She won't tell me.
You?
Yeah.
You're in the colonies.
Wah, wah.
Well, you can't have any more kids.
It's true.
You could be a Martha.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the colonies. Just kill me.
Wah, wah, wah.
So good. So I wasn't planning on staying up late and watching it last night because it was supposed to, they were all 3 supposed to drop at 11 o'clock our time. So it was midnight Eastern time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing it. I wake up early and walk with Jennifer and her dad. And I was like, we missed Monday because there was a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, I'll just go to bed and I'll watch it tomorrow. It's not a big deal. Like, I can handle spoilers for that. But they dropped in the middle of the dang ball game. I was keeping score. I couldn't even do anything. Like, I was trying to hand my mom my phone, and I was like, but I couldn't explain to her how.
She couldn't even say real words in the admin chat. She was like yelling about shirts and doing hair, and because she was trying to keep score at a ball game. And I was like, me and another one of the admins were like, did anybody understand what that means? Like, did I miss something? I was like, I know I haven't like watched a ton of the show. Like, is that code? Like, I don't know.
Well, another thing, they started, like, I was the score, because we had a doubleheader last night. So I was the scorekeeper for the 2nd game. And I wasn't done writing in the information that I need before the game starts when they started the game. And so I was trying to do that. My phone was going off the hook because the show started early, or they dropped it early. And then, I had like a plan. Like, they screwed up my fucking plan. Because I post like a discussion thread for people who want to watch it live and chat that way live. Every time the show comes on, like, I have it scheduled to come to post as soon as the show comes on. And they screwed that up. So
5 hours early.
But it's okay. Me and my husband sat down and watched. He watched 1.5, and then I finished them. But I flat out told him, I was like, I'm not waiting for you to come sit down and watch them, but I'll watch them again when you watch them. I can't watch shows with him because I like to watch them all at once, and he likes to drag crap out. So
that's how Sean is. Like, when he was like, I was like, do you want to watch Bridgerton with me? And he was like, okay. And we watched like an episode, and he like smiled at me, and he was like, okay. And I was like, you don't want to watch another one? And he was like, okay. And we watched 2, and then like 4 nights later watched another one. I was like, kind of want to watch it. And he was like, I mean, isn't like 1 a night enough? And I ended up like finishing the entire season, like the second half of the season, while he was with the kids at the game store, because I was like, I got to do it. And he was like, I'm not missing anything. I did tell him he has to suck it up and watch the next season of The Witcher when it comes out, because
I still haven't watched that.
it's really good. And Henry Cavill is really hot. Like,
one of those you have to like really pay attention to, and I just
is, and somewhere it is because the timeline jumps, and that's the only thing I'll say. And it's not a consistent jump where it's either before and after or back and forth. It's like you've no idea what the fuck you're watching until the end. I actually didn't catch it until I saw, and I have it somewhere saved in my photos, that's a meme with like a timeline and like little thumbnail circle pictures of scenes of, and it's not, and then below it says like, this was episode 7, this was episode 3, like whatever as it goes through. And then I got it, because you're like, wait, what happened?
Timeline, because I think I made it through like 2.5, 3.5 episodes, and I was like, I'm not getting it.
That's really good. And I wasn't sure what was going on with the 2 female characters, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, what? Like, who ends up with who? What's going on?
Yeah. Melissa, I have been watching Younger since the day it started, because I love Hilary Duff. I've always loved Hilary Duff. I know you can make fun of me for it all you want, but I love Hilary Duff.
I watched a Bailey Sarian like Get Ready With Me that she like did she did like the makeup the way like paired hers like with Hilary Duff's, and I've been looking for this damn Chanel bronzer ever since. So you're fine. Continue.
But if they don't tone it down on the political bullcrap, I won't keep watching it. Like, I'm just like, all my drama shows have put in all the COVID stuff, all the stuff that we saw happen in 2020. I don't want to repeat that. Like,
it was awful the first time in real time.
It was a bad year, and and every show I watch is putting something that happened in 2020 in their shows this year. And I'm like,
they all really are. And I get it.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. Like, that was the whole year was full of historical things that were not good. And so we all lived it in real time. And I kind of feel the same way about TV that I do about books. I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I read a lot.
Get away or watch TV or watch episodes.
I read to check out. So I read a lot of lighter stuff, even if it's a mystery. Like over the summer, when my dad was very ill and I was not able to like live with my husband because my husband was working, but I was with my parents and they were like hard quarantine. Like those were all really tough things. I was reading light PNR cozy because it was literally the only thing that I could check out and dive into. And I was just really enjoying them because it didn't have anything to do with people dying of COVID, and it didn't have anything to do with, you know, my dad being sick or I couldn't even read a military romance because they're all like away from each other. And I was like, I was like, I miss my boo. Like, we didn't even see each other. Like, we were across the street and didn't even see each other because everyone was so hard locked down. Like, it was really hard. So that's kind of how
sorry.
No, you're fine.
The medical dramas are the only ones I kind of understand throwing COVID in. Most of them put in some sort of pandemic, and I think it was either Good Doctor or The Resident who had a pandemic planned episode, or a pandemic planned episode. There we go. For
peppers.
Yeah, yes, right around the time COVID hit, and they actually canceled that episode because it was too real at that time. And then when they came back, they brought all the COVID protocols and stuff onto their show, which I understand at that point.
Also, I don't know, is it insensitive? Like, is it? I know we're all like, you know,
Yeah,
people,
I love The Good Doctor.
people aren't sensitive enough. It feels disingenuous and insensitive to me to for other people's enjoyment have a plot line that focuses on something that so many people were just affected by.
Yeah.
Because even if we don't personally know someone who died from COVID, we know someone who had one of their friends or family members succumb to COVID. So it feels like, you know, like our family, we know people who had people who it really took a toll on their family. And so it feels like wrong, you know?
No, I get it.
Like I can't sit down and enjoy a show about something that my friend was just like, well, my grandpa just died of it. So, you know, yeah, I don't know. It's heavy stuff. Like, it's heavy stuff.
It is. And every single show I used to enjoy watching has inserted a bunch of political and stuff into their shows. And I'm just like, just want to escape it. Like, I'm watching your show because I want to get away from it for an hour or 45 minutes or however long it is.
I almost, like, you know, I don't know if you remember, but I was like 2 seconds away from adding a biological weapon component to the thriller aspect of the presidential affair series, and I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah, because but you were releasing that before the pandemic.
I was almost done with the second book because it was originally attached. The first book was originally attached to another project, so I had that book almost completely done before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. But then the timelines didn't fit, and then I realized that like that book was going to be longer. Like, they had smaller size. It's funny because when people want me to write a really long book, it's shorter, and when people are like, "You can't go over 45,000 words," I'm like, "It's a 75,000 word book."
Actually, it was you can't go over 20,000 words, and it turned into a 75,000 word book. So now I just need a 115,000 word book so I can get a 15,000 word book.
Probably. You tell me you need a 150,000 word book, and it's going to be like right in at 45.
Hey, we got to learn somewhere, right?
Apparently, I'm never learning. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants until the end of time. But the last book comes out next month. We've just been like soft teasing it, but like it has like a for real date. I don't know what that date is, but Alyssa will tell me. But I paid for some shit, so you know.
May 25th. Yes.
Are we doing any? I guess I'm just not going to say anything because I don't know what I'm allowed to say or what I'm not allowed to say.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be in a box set exclusively.
But it's a full-length book that you're getting for free.
Mm-hmm.
For not a lot of money. Like, Alyssa actually yelled at me at how low I'm going to market it.
Yes, I did.
So,
yes, I did. There are 3 people. We did just say it. Oh, there's probably a lag. So, yeah. So, be ready. Also, I think Stacey has read it.
No one's seen it. No one's seen it. Hi, Sandra. No one's seen this book. The only people who have read this book are my editor, Kayla, my proofreader, Karen, and me. And now, last night in my very favorite reader group that's not our reader group, someone was like, I need this and this and this and this and this. Because like I was saying, like the erotica, like more like hardcore romance, they're like, this is my punch list of what I'm wanting. Spoil it for me, but then tell me what books meet this criteria. And it was like she set up a punch list, everyone but one. Nice. Of the vice president's mistress. And I was like, okay, here's the deal. I was like, that is the entire book that I just wrote. It's book 4 in my presidential affairs series, but they're interconnected standalones. You don't have to read the others to get it. It's not even up for pre-order yet because I haven't even sent it to my formatter yet, which I have sent it to you since then. But I was like, all I have is the Word doc. I was like, I can't just send you the Word doc, but if you want me to direct to Kindle, send you the Word doc, I will. But I was like, no one's ever read it. And I sent her the blurb in Messenger, and she was like, oh my God, yes. And then this morning I woke up to a bunch of comments on it, like replies on my thread that was like, Lucky, I'm so jealous. I'm so mad right now. Because I literally took a muscle relaxer, was scrolling through Facebook, and I messaged Alyssa and I was like, hey, just to be like, can I send her this book? But you didn't answer. And I was
still, damn it.
I was lit on my muscle relaxer. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I was like, and then this morning I was like, I'm really good with constructive. She thanked me for the book. And I was like, I'm really good with constructive criticism. Stacey, you actually need to be in this book group because it's your jam. You need to be in this book group. They're opening up membership, I think, the first week of May. So I'm just going to add you because it's your jam. It's all the like dirty, sexy alphas that you and I are like, yeah, I want to read that shit.
I think I agree with Melissa. I need some of your muscle relaxers.
It's so bad. Like, it's from tension. Like I get very like stressed out, and like I sit on my laptop and I'm like writing, and then like the further I get, like so it's here typically, but like something happened in my lower back, and it's like I fell down a flight of stairs when I was like 3-4 years old at the San Diego Sports Arena and messed up the muscles and tendons in my lower back. So I just hurt. I went to my doctor. I was like, I hurt something. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, this is what happened. He was like, dude, that's tension from your job. Like,
Whoops.
Here's some muscle relaxers. And I was like, yeah, buddy. I almost never take them, but they're the shit. I'm not going to lie. My dad got the same ones when he fell off a ladder, and they are the shit. Sandra, the first book, if you mean mine in the presidential affairs series, it's The Senator's Secret.
I'm 90% positive she's already read it, but I'm posting it anyway.
We were like, let's do a bonus short story for the box set, and just in May. And then it was never ending because I really fell in love with the characters, and like they might actually be my most favorite I've ever written. Both my proofreader and my editor left comments at the end that was like, the next books I write need to be their children, because he has 3 adult children and she has. You have not read The Vice President's Mistress. Did I send it to you, Stacey?
I vaguely think you did.
When?
Unless she's talking about Senator's Secret. But I swear, you sent her something. What?
Well, wait. Like the Senator's Secret is free everywhere right now. So if you want that one, Sandra, grab it now, because I got to bump it up at the end of the month. But the rest of the books, you'll be able to get all in one place for $1.
She's talking about Senator's Secret.
Which is why Alyssa was like, what are you doing? Because I had to book the promo outside of our promo. And I was like, let's just do it. And she was like, oh my God, you're crazy. But it's going to be 4 full-length novels. And I actually do have an extra epilogue of Jake's and Grace's for you to put up on my website or in my newsletter or whatever. So it's going to be all 4 books. at the end on the 25th for $1, and then links to get an extra epilogue from Jake's point of view.
Yay!
So I really did actually finish it. It was like 400 years. That's the farthest I think I've ever been over on a deadline. It was like never ending. It was never ending. I think I was like 23 days past my deadline because it was supposed to be 15,000 words that I could have easily done in like 3 days.
Mm-hmm. And that was the plan. And then you were going to have spring break off.
I really, really loved the characters. I really loved it's a widow and a widower. And I liked that there were these people who thought that they had their one chance and that was it. That they can be content with their lives the way that they were. But, you know, maybe that wasn't the case. So I enjoyed it. And they're people that they're people that were just like nice people that you want to root for. Alyssa has a cameo in the back of the book.
I have a lot of cameos. I'm still the undead hooker.
Now you're a political blogger.
It fits.
I like want to get you the actual, like I need to get you a shirt made that has the blog on it because it was so fun. But it was like,
buy the domain.
It was like you should because it was the best. It's probably already taken, but it was the best gossip blog name ever. It was DC After Dark.
What? Oh, D.
And I loved it. I'm gonna find out it's a real like. Oh God, my back is fucking killing me. It's a real political blog.
Oh.
Is it available?
I'm looking. It didn't come up on a site.
I should turn it into a blog page like the happenings.
DC After Dark, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of water.
It's not available.
Wah, wah, wah.
But there's not a site attached to it, so someone has bought it to sell it, I'm sure.
Would have been a good one.
I know, because I'd buy it and sell it for $50,000. I'm a political commentator. People,
you really are. But that's all right. I love that about you. Melissa is one of the few people that I can like get into it with, and they're like, there's no hurt feelings. Like it's just like
still
like,
walk away smiling.
It's like a point of view sharing, like understand other people, and that's what it should be. Like it shouldn't be ugly. It shouldn't be if you don't think like me, you should go for blood. Like it should be different, you know, differences of opinions. Like, you know, her life is clearly not always the same as mine. She has experiences, like when we were talking to Antoinette, like she's going to have experiences that I don't have.
Right.
That's not my job to be like, you're wrong. You didn't have that. Me too, Melissa. I'm like, don't take my tax dollars.
But discourse and discussion is very important in everything that you do.
Yeah,
not just
I
politics.
love it.
Like
I love it.
Jennifer and I disagree about things, and we have to talk it out and argue it out and whatever we need to do. And that's just part of life. That's part of being in business. And we can't always agree on every little thing. It's not possible, and life would be boring.
I agree.
So things, that's the way life is. I don't agree with everything she thinks and Melissa, but Melissa, be ready because my Peloton comes in on Wednesday and we're going to hit it. And I'm going to be that person that talks about it all the time.
Don't make me actually use my Extend Bar account. I'll be like, what?
I said, maybe you should.
No, I like being fat.
I
did bar method today. What'd you do?
Huh?
I said, I'm going to be like, well, I did bar method. Nah.
I'm going to be like, I biked for an hour or 45 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever I do that day.
Melissa, you're such a goob.
Under his circle. I'm not gonna lie, I've watched some of the workout videos and they're fucking fun. Like I can't wait. I can't wait. Don't get. I've been eating carbs all day. Like I looked up I swear to God, I started work at about 8:30 this morning after a walk with Jennifer and her parents and a shower. And I didn't look up from like what I was doing. I didn't even look at the time. The time's on my computer. And all of a sudden my 1:00 meeting calls me and I'm like, I thought it was at 1. And she's like, it is 1, right? Because she's in like mountain time or something. And she's in Arizona. And I can never remember what time zone they're in because they don't time change. So it switches. So whatever it is. Anyway, she was like, it is 1. And I was like, well, I guess it is. Crap. Just like lost track of time because I was so busy today.
I actually ate pretty healthy today until I fell off the wagon and ate half a box of caramel corn. But
no, I made myself a plate of like nachos and salsa.
Like I started with like breakfast burritos and then it only went up from there. Like I had chicken for lunch but like only a tiny bit. And then I had like a really healthy chicken and vegetable soup for dinner. Dang, I'm killing it. But I ate half box of corn. And then my dog fell off the bed and ran into the wall and I thought dislocated his jaw.
Jeez.
He's so dumb. Like, I love him so much, but I'm like, oh my God, don't die. Like, he yelped, and then to see if he was okay, like, I went, because he got back up on the bed, I went to give him a bite of caramel corn, and he just looked at it and he wouldn't take it. And I was like, shit. But he rallied. But, like, the side of his face is swollen.
Oh,
because he jumped off our bed to follow Sean out of the bedroom, and where my dog is a big border collie mix and he's old, so he was laying on the floor, and when he went to jump over him, like, he's kind of blind and hard of hearing, so he looks at like what's going, but he kind of stood up a little bit and tripped the puppy as he was jumping off the bed. And our bedroom has this weird privacy wall just between our bed and the door, because the door to our bedroom is right in the middle of our dining room, so you're not like walking in and like people are naked or whatever. I don't know, but that's what he hit. He hit the face. He hit the face with his wall. He hit the wall with his face.
Well,
and
I mean, the other way kind of fits too. He's such an idiot. The dog's an idiot.
Like, I have my beautiful lap dust that Sean made me for Christmas one year, and I'll sit on the sofa and I'll work, and we have like a small L-shaped sectional with a big ottoman, and the dogs all sit around me, and he'll just roll off the couch for no reason. And the other two dogs and I like look up and we're like, the fuck, bro? Like, what happened? Like, I don't know what he does. It's weird.
Whatever. He's
weird.
An idiot dog. Anyway, we've been on here an hour and we're both tired. So
but I need a nap. I need a muscle relaxer is what I do.
Go take a muscle relaxer and we'll talk tomorrow. And we'll see everyone else next week. So, all right. Bye, y'all. Have a good rest of your week.